Now on to Mr. Steinley for 6 minutes.
And Mr. Minister, there are storm clouds on the horizon in agriculture, but it has nothing to do with climate change. On behalf of 190,000 farm families, the Minister of Finance just got a letter when it comes to the increase in capital gains exemption from 1/2 to 2/3. Was there any consultation with the agriculture sector before this was put into Budget 2024?
Thank you very much. I appreciate your question. I truly do. And I can't answer for the Minister of Finance, but I think she was traveling right across the country to have discussions with all sectors in this country. But
thank you, Mr. Minister. Did your department have any consultations with agriculture sector stakeholders before this was put into Budget 2024? Is it a yes or a no?
I'm not very keen on this yes or no stuff, but the thing is, did I know what was going in the budget before it went in the budget? No.
Well, you didn't know. You yourself, Minister, did not know this was going to be in Budget 2024.
I do not write the budget.
Okay, thank you very much. That's interesting. You did speak of the younger generation, and I met with the 4-H youth, so that was fantastic. And I was wondering, do you know how much third-party consultant fees have increased in your department since 2015? The increase in the cost of third-party consultants.
Well, of course, again, a very important question, and I'm quite sure that we use outsourced consultants, but being a departmental issue, I would have to ask my capable deputy to respond to that. If she can.
On for you, Mr. Minister. In the Department of Agriculture, the third-party consultant fees have increased by 95% since 2015. Do you know how many employees, what the employee count has increased as well in the Department of Agriculture?
I don't have the exact figures with me, no.
Would your deputy know by chance?
The increase in employment.
And I don't have the exact number either, but it would be in the hundreds.
So, third-party consulting has increased by 95%, and your employee FTE count has increased by hundreds, you said. So, do you think farm families are getting value for that?
What I can tell you, my good friend, is that my job as Minister of Agriculture and Agri-Food, and I've been in and out of agriculture, mostly in it since the government was formed. Back in 2016, we expected to have $74 billion worth of exports from this country by 2025. We have now just under $100 billion of agriculture and agri-food exports from this country. And it takes what we have to make sure that we have the people in place in order to make sure the agricultural sector has the support they need in order to continue to supply the sustainable food that they have. And that is vitally important because
I appreciate that. Thank you
but
very much.
I need to tell you, sir, too, that if we do not have sustainable food, we do not export. And
I agree with our agriculture is a world-class product. I just ask these questions because there's been an increase in spending in various areas, but you have also seen cuts in your department. For example, the Foundation Science and Research was cut by $1.3 million in your budget. And also, when I met with the 4-H youth, your department, sir, has cut funding for 4-H for the next generation. And when I met with their team when they were engaging on citizen engagement on the Hill, they're quite concerned that might be one of the programs that gets cut. So my question is, you could not find any savings when it came to third-party consultants, but you cut funding that is going to produce the next generation of farmers in our country. How do you explain that?
Of course, I have a number of programs have changed, and I think you're referring to 4-H and other programs. And of course, I was a 4-H member, and probably the first program I ever entered that allowed me to learn public speaking and other ways of life. Just a very valuable program. All these programs are vitally important. I can assure you, my good friend, that I'll do everything to make sure these programs, the youth programs, Ag in the Classroom, all of these do so much in order to encourage people to understand exactly what the agricultural sector is all about.
So
we
can
need
you
the
restore the
farmers,
funding
but we
to
also
4-H?
need people involved in the agricultural sector. And I will continue to work to make sure that they are there.
Will you be able to
We're at
restore
time,
funding
Mr.
to 4-H?
Stanley. Mr. Stanley, we're at time, but I will allow, the minister was trying to reference the deputy minister for a query that you had raised that you have since, I guess, given this committee. But if deputy minister, as the chair, if you have anything you might want to add, I'll give it to you. And if not, because you didn't have that opportunity.
We might get into it a little bit later, but of course there have been adjustments to programs all across the board, in particular for internal services and third-party consultants.
Thank you very much.